Forever Young, Eternity One, New to This World by Kim Houtzager. Falling, catching, take me in your arms. Swirling, dancing, show me where the high ones are. Promise me that you will never let go. And promise me that you will honestly show the true meaning of my life. Chapter 1, New to This World. Episode 20. Let the hunt begin. Sanderleen opened the inn's door. Disgust filled his face, looking at all these people who were no different than him. Yet he felt above them. He thought he was better. Ignoring the laughter and the joy in this inn, Sanderleen walked between the crowded tables. The men told tall tales about their hunts, and the women looked at them admiringly. Pitiful fools, he mumbled. You shouldn't talk that loudly. Sanderleen's eyes got drawn to a corner. The man who spoke was handsome, but the scar on his face told more than enough. It sure took you a while. Sanderleen walked towards him. I was looking for me? He swallowed some unknown liquid from his cup, emptying it. News travels fast. Then you know what I want. The man nodded. I know it, and I'm not interested. Sanderleen fumed. What? If Lord Sasha finds out, he'll kill me? The man laughed. It irritated Sanderleen that the man kept on finishing what he was trying to say. Lord Sasha has tried that several times, but in the end, he always needs me. He took a bit of his bread and showed his knife. You see the carves on this knife? He asked. Each carve represents a person I had to hunt down for Lord Zashan. No one has ever escaped from me. He sat back. But it bores me, these easy praise. You cannot refuse. Sanderleen sat down. I never invited you to sit down. The man looked at Sanderleen with his scarred face. However, even the intense gaze of the man before him didn't faze Sanderleen. He just smiled. You never refused before. There's a first time for everything. With his knife, he took a slice of the bread and put it in his mouth. Why doesn't he send his black knights? I thought news traveled fast. Sanderleen smiled. The man looked up. The black knights are dead. All 4 of them. The man looked surprised, but then he started to laugh. Don't tell me! Sanderleen nodded. So the rumor was true. The man pinned his knife into the table. Scorched by an eternal fire, by a witch whose eyes are deadlier than the touch of a high one. Sanderleen knew he had gotten the man's attention. Rumors are always exaggerated, he leaned back. But the witch? So he wants me to hunt down a witch? Interest disappeared from his face. What's so hard about getting a witch? What does Lord Sasha want from her? Sanderleen shrugged. Beats me. The darn girl can't even talk normally. And she's quite stupid too. Doesn't know a thing about how this world spins. Before he could continue, the man had grabbed him. What did you say? He burst out. She can't talk? Sanderleen nodded, completely stunned by this action. The man let go of Sanderleen and thought for a moment. Seems another one has arrived. This can prove to become really interesting. He grabbed his knife. Show me the last place you've seen her. He walked towards the door. And tell Lord Zashan that the hunt has begun. Far away, in a grassy valley, a small band of travelers tried to recover from the attack of the predator cat they faced only a day ago. Tired, Blade sat on his horse, thus trying to ignore his pains. Beside him sat Narakun Apple, who had laid her head against the black head of the horse. The walking horse had rocked her into a deep sleep. I hope there won't be any more mountain lions. Matsuru tried to break the silence. Mayanaka walked beside him. Are you sure you can call it a mountain lion? She asked. There are not many mountains here. Fine, then I'll call it a valley lion. Have it your way. Matsuru didn't look at her. Sure, Mayanaka's intelligence kept on surprising them all, but sometimes she just had to act too smart. Like she was a teacher and they were the little kids. Blade looked at his clothes. Stupid whatever we'll call it. It ruined my clothes. The shattered pieces hung over his well-trained body that now showed bruises. Narako managed to heal him a lot, but a full recovery was still out of the question. I knew they were old, but now I need new clothes. He stopped talking. Blade looked aside where Sushi was walking beside him. Her long pointy ears didn't show the emotion that was hidden inside her body. Don't look at me, she snapped. You didn't want me to make clothes for you, and now you can forget it. She looked up slightly and their eyes met. Besides, we need to dye it first. Brown is not your color. Blade smiled, knowing she was only teasing him. I was wondering, Mayonaka broke the silence, why didn't you train Naraku on how to use her magic instead of how to use weapons? Quite simple, Blade replied. There are people in this world who can block magic. Matsuru wanted to teach Naraku how to defend herself, no matter what the situation is. Well, her aim sure sucks. Sushi looked at the sleeping Naraku. The arrow in that line thing was nothing more than a thorn. Blade looked at Sushi. Matsuru told me you killed that thing with my spear. Sushi nodded. I haven't thanked you for that yet. Sushi looked down, blushing. It was nothing, she mumbled. Silence filled the air around the group again. All looked straight ahead, hoping to see the end of the grassy area. They thought they were safe, but it was proven once again that safety was still far away. Blade turned around. Far, far behind him, he saw a tree. It looked like a normal tiny tree in the distance now, but he knew they had traveled a lot. From Dusk's back, he took a golden medallion. How much longer? He whispered. What did you say? Matsuru asked. When he turned around, he saw Blade holding his compass. Blade closed the compass. How much longer till we will be safe? Will we ever be safe? Matsuru stopped. One day we will be safe, he replied. I just know that, but don't ask me when. Why we stop? All looked and saw Naraku rubbing the sleep from her eyes. Something wrong? No, nothing is wrong. Matsuru walked at her. How do you feel? Naraku smiled. Tired. But Apple is nice bed. She wanted to step off the horse. No, Matsuru said. You're still not at full strength. But I want to walk. Naraku stated and slid down. Want to see trees? So she looked around. Trees? She asked while looking around. Where? Naraku pointed north. Trees will come. I saw them. Matsuru looked up, looking at the others. Blade smiled. I have a feeling, he said with new hope and strength, that we will see a forest soon enough. Filled with new energy, everything started walking once more. Suddenly the grassy hills didn't seem so empty anymore. Rabbits hopped from lair to lair, and birds filled the air with their songs. Why hadn't they noticed this beauty before? However, after each hill, their hope seemed to die bit by bit. Well, that shall teach me to trust the magic user's dream vision, Sushi snarled. Don't give up hope, Matsuru tried to encourage her. This grassy area has to end one day. I bet these grasslands will never stop. Sushi put her hands in her neck. Never? Mayonaka asked, who was on top of the hill. And what do you call that? Everyone joined her, and Sushi was the only one who tried to hide her enthusiasm. Those aren't trees, she said. I call that a village. The days on the grass seemed shorter than ever. Almost 3 complete days it had taken them to cross it. From the mountain forest to this village, they tried not to think about it. The large tree had vanished from their sight. You couldn't even see a tiny speck anymore. The world behind them seemed to vanish from existence. Hope was the only thing on their path. Still, the village seemed further away than they had expected. When the night started to fall, they still hadn't reached it. Tired, they sat down, while Matsuru made a fire. So she grabbed the skin of the valley lion that attacked them and started to prepare it for use. It was still very rough and she had to work on it for several days, but then it would be soft yet strong, as if the high ones had made it themselves. Mayonaka took her book. Reading again? Matsuru asked. Mayonaka nodded. Yes, I hope to finish it one day. Maybe you could read us a story? Matsuru suggested. So she jolted out of her work, almost cutting in her fingers. Yes, she exclaimed. Read that story about that knight that saves that damsel from the dragon. Mayonaka sighed. I've read it to you several times and I can assure you, she started, the dragon will keep on dying and they will keep on living happily ever after. So she growled when she buried herself into her work again. Stupid knight, she mumbled. Why did that poor dragon have to die? Stupid spoiled princess. Dragon should have eaten her. Blade and Matsuru grinned when they heard Shishi mumble, but Mayonaka didn't look that happy. Sadness had filled her face, and she seemed to be thinking when Blade started talking to her. Are you okay? Blade asked, concerned. Mayonaka gave a fake smile. Of course, she said. Do you want me to read that story? She opened her book. Can you let the dragon live? So she asked. Just this once? You'll see. Mayonaka smiled and looked for the right page. So she continued working on the skin, while Blade took a piece of roasted meat. He slowly started to eat it, trying to forget his pain. Nanako laid herself against Matsuru, trying to stay awake. It was hard for her to fight her tiredness, and the last thing she heard was, "Once upon a time, there was a rich kingdom." Thank you for listening to this episode. If you liked listening to it, please like or leave a comment. Constructive criticism is always welcome. After all, I'm new to this and I have a lot to learn. If you can't wait to read more, the books are already in print. You can find the links in the description box below. And now for the obligated copyright mention. Enjoy some fan art I received! The data in this audiobook, such as text, pictures, graphics, graphic material, trade names, logos, brands, are owned or licensed by Kim Houtsager and protected by copyright, trademark law, or any other intellectual property rights. The aforementioned rights are by no means transferred to anyone listening to this book. Nothing from this book may be duplicated or taken for commercial use without written permission of the author Kim Houtsager.